How you guys doing?
What's up, Coach?
Good.
All right, we're ready for it.
Ready?
Yes, sir.
Coach, if you can just give us kind of an overview of the first 2 days, just in terms of what the focus has been from you, how competitive. I know you have a lot of new faces, but some guys also returning.
Yeah, balancing offense and defense. Really getting our new guys up to speed with terminology, our system. I think there's not going to be a lot of changes defensively to what we do. We feel good about what we're doing on that end, and we're just trying to get everybody up to speed with the way we do things and what the coverages are and the reads and the communication and whatnot. And, we're giving some different looks offensively, to just fit our roster. Every time your roster changes, you want to, just tailor your system a little bit to put guys in position to succeed. So we've been looking at a lot of those things and, just trying to open the floor up for Russ and Bron and AD and the rest of the guys and, just getting the ball rolling.
I know defense has been the calling card the last couple of years. With a veteran group, even with new guys, is the terminology a lot easier and the system a lot easier to explain because these guys have put in the time and been great defenders in their careers?
Yeah, I think it's less about the experience and more about the experience in our system. You know what I mean? It's the guys that have 2, 3, I guess 2 years, in our system are going to be further along, than even the experienced newcomers, because they're just, they got to get up to speed with what we're calling things, what our coverages are, how we handle certain actions. That's part of the learning curve, and they're picking up pretty quickly.
Has anybody stood out that you can, that kind of pops in your head? Besides the obvious?
Russell Westbrook's pretty good.
He's pretty good, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a good basketball player. He's good at basketball. And, his speed and, not just in the open court, but the downhill driving, paint attacking nature of his game, has really been something else to watch up close in practice the last couple of days. And I think Lakers fans are going to be thrilled about what he looks like in the purple and gold.
Probably nice to have him on your team, right?
I'm not worried about trying to figure out how to stop him anymore, so that's good.
Mike?
Okay, there we go. Frank, when you think about I don't want to say just the 2-guard spot, it could be the 3 spot in cases where AD starts at a 5. Are you going to default a certain way towards, the guy that's playing the best defensively or the guy that's spacing the floor the best if there isn't a player that necessarily just automatically plugs both of those things?
Yeah, that's going to be a tough call. It's one of those, we have a lot of great choices there, and, I'm not necessarily going to, pin it on, whoever the best defender is or whoever the best floor spacer is. It's, whoever's going to complement that group the best, and obviously we want as many two-way players on the floor as we can. And, I would say, wherever we're getting the most out of both the shooting and the perimeter defense, I think those minutes will go to guys like that.
I suppose this is related, but in some ways you were able to shift lineups around when you won the title. And then you also talked about the importance of continuity, but so those things can kind of be balanced in a way. How do you approach that as you've grown into coaching with different rosters? Yeah,
well, I think this year, we're going to have a continuity disadvantage, because we have so many new faces and so many unique players coming into our system. But it's one of those things when you have talent and high IQ, high character guys, you can figure that out. And the core of Bron and AD being together in the way we've done things those last 2 years, I think that sets a great tone for integration, of the new guys and new talented guys that we have coming in.
Right, LeBron's voice was a little hoarse, and he said that he's kind of been doing some just bringing energy to the gym with his voice, shouting out instructions. So what have you seen out of his engagement level over the first 2 days?
Well, he sets a great tone for attentiveness, hanging on every word the coaches are saying and, making sure he's understanding it, executing it at the right level. And, I think that sets a tone for the rest of the guys, absorbing what we're trying to get through to them. It starts there, but then, obviously his overall basketball mind and the experience in our system the last 2 years, every time, just like the assistant coaches, every time we implement something, if there's a detail, that needs to be cleaned up, he's very vocal in those situations too. But I think if his voice is hoarse, it's because of the intensity of today's practice. I mean, these guys really, really got after it today. And, so early in training camp to see guys playing that hard and that physical is a great sign, with the talent that we have.
Was it more scrimmage than you normally would have done at this stage of a training camp?
Yeah, a little bit more. I mean, yesterday was a lot of teaching, a lot of implementation. And today I wanted to get to 5-on-5 as quickly as we could. And, once you put a scoreboard on with the personalities we have on this team, it's very, very competitive, very, very quickly.
Thought actually first, if I might latch on to that, was there something, was there like a scene in the 5-on-5 that made you think, okay, yeah, these guys are charged up today, that this felt especially good to see?
Just not one play or anything. I mean, it was really just, the competitive nature of every possession, talking about the refs and, talking about, man, we got to make that pass, and the disappointment when they didn't score and the disappointment when they didn't get a stop. The care factor, to win every possession was super high, just throughout the whole practice.
And a little bit of divergence there, but timeline wise, in terms of setting lineups, setting starting spots, those things, you have 6 preseason games. You're hoping to figure that out by 4. Are you going to take all the allotted time, or what's sort of the timeline for figuring?
Yeah, I would say we're certainly not going to have any decisions made, before the last 2 preseason games. Hopefully we'll have some direction at that point. But we still could be looking at those last 2 games and try one way and the other way. The first 4 games, we'll probably have a lot of guys in and out of the lineup. We won't be whole in those games, and hopefully we will be the last 2. But like I said, I'm not putting a real timeline on it, but hopefully we should have some direction by then.
All right, we have time for 2 more. We'll go to Bill Oram, please.
Hey, Frank. You've obviously got so many guys who can play and are used to playing in their careers. Does that make it important to have defined roles with this group? Does it make it harder to have defined roles? And then with such experienced guys, does that make you more hopeful that it's going to be easier for guys to buy in if their role isn't necessarily what they've been used to throughout their careers?
Well, what I think about experienced guys is, hopefully they're over them trying to find themselves, as you see a lot with young players, and where do I fit, and what's my game going to be, and who am I going to be, and, being concerned about, their minutes and their role and the touches and all that stuff. I think you see that more with young players trying to find their way. The guys we have here seem to be really committed to the one goal, I don't think it's going to be any more difficult or less difficult to define the roles of those guys, but it's definitely a necessary ingredient in putting together a team and making sure everybody understands what their role is.
All right, last question will go to Dan, and it looks like it's Dog is there as well.
Yeah, he's here too, sorry. Frank, just some housekeeping things. Did you guys have everybody available today for practice?
Yeah, Trevor did not practice today. He just had some right ankle soreness. Nothing we're really concerned about right now. Everybody else participated.
Same for the first day, too?
He practiced yesterday.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Good.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks, Coach.